Well, alrighty, fellas. Good morning, good morning. Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and we have some grinding to do today. I have two big plans today for the most part. Number one, shiny hunting. Nothing really new. Probably going to be at Sand Slash. Probably going to be getting some encounters, cranking my numbers up. I'm still at 55,000-ish or 54,000-ish encounters. I'm going to go ahead and actually collect the Pokeyens. Let's just do that. Boom. 542k. This is from relisting stuff as well as selling a bunch of shelters from yesterday. Look at those, dude. All of those adamant shelters sold, and all of the male breeders within a day. Within a day. That's crazy. Now the IV'd shelters or certain other things might need more time, but that is like 90% of the shelters sold within a day. Cash stack just went up like 700, 800k, something crazy like that. But we're gonna be shiny hunting today. The most important thing I want to do today, which will get its own video, is testing EV training and XP training as a new player. So I have something in mind. I'm going to be rolling a D4 to see which region I get into. I'm not doing Unova. I refuse to do Unova because the best XP training spot in Unova would be doing Rapidash. I'm not doing it. I'm not ending another streak. I'm not. I refuse. I'm sorry, chat. I'm exiling Unova as a region from the start. It sucks. It would have been great. It would have been great EV training spots. Unova is a great region. Great EV training spots, great XP training spots. I'm not getting a shiny Rapidash right now. I'm not doing it again. So we're going to jump into that project, that video. I'm going to go ahead and look for some cheap beginner Pokemon to go and EV train, XP train. Probably doing attack and speed. Wink, wink, hint, hint. This will get its own video. But if you want to know what I'm training for profit in the stream recap, it's probably going to be Smeargles. Smeargles seem really, really, really good right now. The fact that a level 100 Smeargle, let's just go check. A 2x31 adamant Smeargle level 100 is 300k, which is just insanity. You could buy these for 65k. Well, not with the right nature, but like Naughty for 68. That is a ridiculous. And they don't take that long to. They're only like 600k or 800k XP to level 100. I think Smeargles, the 800k, the XP needed to get level 100 is not that bad. Yeah, I think Smeargles have a crazy margin right now, so I'm excited to go test them. I'm going to go work. I'm going to get started. We're going to jump into it. I'll see you guys with any updates. This is a good question, Mist. Will you be leveling to 100 or also move setting them? I'm going to be EV training, leveling to 100, not move setting. Smeargles, I might move set. We'll see. Usually, it's not worth to move set a Pokemon if you're like XP training and EV training it for profit, because it's kind of expensive to like move set things. You want to leave that up to the buyer. You just cut into your profits too much. If you're buying like 4 TMs, it ends up being like 120k, obviously depending on the TMs. But with Smeargle, it actually might be worth it depending on what people are willing to buy. A lot of times buyers, and I'm the buyers in all those situations, they don't mind putting on the moves. They don't even think about that. They'll just plop the moves on. They just want the right Pokemon that fits the need they want, right? So that's a good question. This is a legit funny / interesting question. Something, Pat, what should one do if they own a Jimmy Run team, but they never actually Jimmy Run because they think it's very boring and they'd rather just shunt? I still think it's worth to just keep the team. Like, I wouldn't sell it or anything like that, because on the off chance you have the urge and energy to do a Jimmy Run, that one Jimmy Run is going to pay for the whole team, right? If you do one Jimmy Run with that team for the rest of your PokeMMO career, it's still worth to keep the team. So just having that option, I think it's genuinely still worth to keep it versus like sell it, even if you don't use it right now. I think just also collecting and building up utility Pokemon like that is part of the fun of PokeMMO. This is a good question. Someone in chat said, I have some trouble like selling my Pokemon. Do you have any tips? And there's two things I would initially ask, which is number one, like how long are your Pokemon sitting for? Which is just like, I think, and it's tougher when you're a newer player. When you're a newer player, I was explaining, when you're a newer player and you spend 400,000, if you have 400k and you spend like 200k to like breed for profit, and then you're like, you turn a 200k Pokemon into like a 350k, right? You might have to wait like 2 weeks for that to sell, right? Like it might take, that's the average, like 2 to 3 weeks for like a listing cycle. That's normal, right? But when you're a newer player and you only have 400k, you spend, you really need that Pokeyen back faster, right? So as a newer player, sometimes selling for not maximum profits is more ideal to get the quicker sales. And then as well as, it's just tougher when you're breeding for profits. It's just more difficult, right? The more Pokeyen you get, it's going to be, the rich get richer is true in PokeMMO. It really, really is. The more Pokeyen you get, the more Pokeyen you'll be able to make. When you have 5 mil, you can spend 600,000 Pokeyen on a few breeds for profit, turn it into 1.2 mil, and you don't mind just letting it sit there and waiting 2 to 3 weeks, right? The other thing to factor in, I see a lot of newer players, and it's just because price checking is hard. Price checking is really, 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 really difficult. The skill ceiling, the floor is pretty low. The ceiling is tremendously high. I make mistakes all the time when price checking. There's so many things to forget. There's so many things to factor in. Pokemon are very, very complicated, right? With egg moves and things that particles, people forget. It's a lot, right? Specific species that may be valuable for specific reasons, etc., etc. But I think people will sometimes over price check. And what I mean by that is if you have a flying egg group male Pokemon, okay? Let's say you have a flying egg group male, right? And it has 31 attack and 31 speed, right? If you price check that, okay, it's about 36, 38K, right? But let's say it has 220 plus IVs, right? Let's see what that, okay, 50K. This is a not great example. It's kind of good, but let's do like, sometimes you'll get a result back that is not actually accurate. Let's do it 3 times. Let's do this. Let's say we have a flying egg group male Pokemon that's 20 plus HP, 20 plus defense, and then 3 times 31. However, 2 of those 31s are in attack and special attack, which is not really great, right? So we see this one for like 70K. Does that 20? I don't know if I would call this quite an accurate price check, but it's tough to tell. Unfortunately, I'm not getting a great live example. Yeah, unfortunately, that was pretty accurate. I'm not getting a great live example. But the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes people will put in too many digits, too many factors into a price check, and it will return them with like a ludicrous number, which is not actually accurate at all, right? If I were to do something like a specific species, it might give me a better example. Let's go ahead and sorry, I'm on a timer really quick. Let me get back to my XP training spot. Look up like, what's a nicher species let's do Zoroark, right? A nicher species that's valuable. We'll do a Zoroark. We'll do 31 special attack, 31 speed. And let's say that it also has 25 plus HP and 25 defense, right? But now we get this one, which has 31 HP, 25 plus defense. Like this one's much better than the one that we have, right? Now we've kind of implemented too many specific numbers, and it's returning us a Pokemon that's too good. So what I would normally do here is I would lower these. You want to make it less. Now it's still too high. So what I would do here is just get rid of these numbers. I think a lot of new players, you want to get maximum profits out of your Pokemon, right? But sometimes people take it too far, and people like over specify their search, and it gets them a hyper specific number that isn't actually going to sell for that price, if that makes sense. Do you think it would be good to rotate the in-game time every couple of months, i.e. I can only play a certain time every day due to work and being a father, and only be able to play the game on in-game mornings? I think that's honestly, I mean, I don't see why not. I feel like that would just make things more accessible, less consistent for like daily players, but I think that's fine. I think it's fine to have also, but the daily players might find it more refreshing. I get, yeah, it affects you. It sounds silly for certain people who don't care about the in-game time, but yes, with certain shiny hunts, it really affects it. That was something I noticed for a while. Whenever I was doing like nighttime shunts or vice versa, I always start stream at the same time every day, and it affected like what shunts I was able to do for sure on stream, unless I like stream for enough hours to like get all the way around, right? No, it's a really interesting question that I feel like that's like a suggestion box forum post worthy question in my opinion. I would like, if you're passionate about it and have the time, make a forum post and being like, hey, like, is this possible? I think it makes it more accessible for the casual players and more refreshing for the more hardcore. It's a great question. Dude, I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Amulet coins are back to normal. What happened? That's so weird. Oh, I know what happened. It's because of Richest Charms, right? Richest Charms, yep. Richest Charms, massive supply increase from the Lunar New Year event. So Richest Charms are an item that are only available during events, and generally like the Lunar New Year event's the biggest one for them. And they're a competing item for Amulet Coin. That's interesting. So Amulet Coins were like, dude, Amulet Coins reached like 30K a few weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy, dude. So So it's good to see them go back down to a normal-ish price. Anywhere from like 15 to 20k is generally kind of normal. 25k is getting a little high, and like 30k was, I hadn't seen the Amulet coins at 30k for like 6 years. It had been a long time. That was a big deal when they spiked like that. So it's interesting to see them go back to normal price after a different item supply increase. Just interesting little point in the market. Oh, this is a great question. I love when this pops up. I feel like the daycare in PokeMMO is one of the most underutilized tools in the game, including by me. I should have 2 Pokemon being leveled in pretty much every daycare in the region, like all regions at all times. But I gotta work on that at some point. Also, that'd be fun. Someone said, is daycare leveling based off of in-game playtime or IRL? Neither. I'm glad you asked. Daycare leveling in PokeMMO is based off of the total XP you gain within that region. So, for example, right now I'm XP training in Hoenn, right? I think it's 10%. It's like 10 or 20%. Around 10% of the all XP that I gain in the Hoenn region goes to the daycare Pokemon as well. Not like it doesn't take it. It's just like on top. It's like extra free XP, right? That was a great question. This is a great question. How worth is it to get the XP Reamplifier? I have the Pokeyen to buy it, but not to go broke. If buying the XP Reamplifier will make you go broke, I probably wouldn't get it. Unless you love XP training and it's like the main thing you do in the game, right? The XP Reamplifier is nice, but it's like, I wouldn't even worry about the XP Reamplifier at mid game. That's like an end game item. Like 5 XP shares are going to carry you for so long. The 5% bonus XP you get from the Reamplifier is so minimal. It's essentially 1 inventory of Sweet Sense, like per 5 Pokemon you train, which is just not that much. Versus like it's like 250k or whatever or less for like the 5 XP shares versus the XP Reamplifier is like 2 point something mil, right? Now, to be fair, RP is cheap right now, so it's never been a better time to get it. RP is very cheap right now, costing like 2.2 mil for 1,000, right? So it's a good time to get RP for things like that. Honestly, it's a good question, but I would never ever rush to get a Reamplifier. It's definitely like a very hyper end game. It's good, but not amazing. Maybe like late mid game at the best. I do love this question. Someone said, hey, like the art shops in the PokeMMO forums, are those technically RMT ? Like anything on the forums is obviously not breaking of game rules. Pretty much all forum posts have to be like approved by the devs to some extent, or the staff or whatever. They get like taken down within the day or whatever if they're breaking any rules, right? So like any art shops, raffles, things like that, they're always going to usually be like people always say like, oh, is this mod on the PokeMMO forums safe? That's one where like the staff check all of the mods before uploading them for the public, right? That's a safety thing. But the art shops, I talked about this in a fair bit of detail in my 63 money making methods in PokeMMO video, which I recommend checking out if you haven't seen it. It's a great video. Put a lot of time into it, but it's a weird exception. But I think it's a really cool one. The PokeMMO staff do allow people to sell PokeMMO related artwork that would be used in the game or in the community generally or whatever. You can do that. You can sell PokeMMO like IRL artwork for Pokeyen. It's kind of a weird one, but it's a weird stipulation, but you can. I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool that someone who has like an artistic talent IRL can earn money in the game via that. I think it's honestly just a cool thing. And it's cool that people like myself, I use in the past, can buy like forum signatures or like certain things like you can buy with. I think it's kind of cool with Pokeyen. I think it's neat. So it's a weird gray area that if they didn't like explicitly allow it, it would obviously be against those, but they explicitly allow it, which is kind of interesting. Dude, this is very, very cool. I haven't seen anybody else link this. I've never seen this. This is a Shalpha, a raid reward Shalpha Stoutland. Someone said this is my favorite looking Shalpha. I have not seen anybody bring up Shalpha Stoutland. That is an underrated Shalpha pick, number 1, and number 2, it's way cooler that it's from a raid. I'm glad he hasn't bred it or anything like that. So I think keeping the Met date, like Met as a faithful encounter from a raid, is so much more worth, in my personal opinion. So much more worth than breeding it up for better IVs. That is a really, really cool, unique Shalpha. You know what, fellas? I think I am going to call it here today. A 4-hour stream, kind of shorter, but, you know, it's okay, hopefully. The training, like the XP training, the grinding just destroyed my brain. I feel like it's kind of mush, and I feel like taking a little bit, you know, of a shorter break day today would be kind of nice. I'm gonna go play some Minecraft. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. Good questions today from chat. Like the stream if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe to the YouTube for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow the Twitch on stream. Follow the Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're interested in that. If you want to go above and beyond and support the content, you can do so via YouTube membership, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for enjoying. Thanks for playing the game that I love so much. And have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. Hey, thank you so very much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me. And if your name is listed here, you're the reason I'm able to do this in the first place by going above and beyond and supporting the channel via YouTube memberships and Twitch Primes. Thank you so much. Have a great day.